Welcome to the overview for AEM's new pass-through adapter. The new pass-through adapter is an Ethernet adapter for testing, and it's got two ports on it. It looks similar to our AD-NET cable adapter, but it is a pass-through, and instead of being labeled for channel testing and multi-gig and PoE testing, as is the AD-NSA adapter, it is labeled port 1, port 2, an in and an out port. And it's designed for doing pass-through Ethernet testing. This adapter will work with the NSA as I'm demonstrating here today. It'll also work with the Test Pro. This is a very unique adapter and brand new for AEM, and what it allows the user to do is troubleshoot a PoE link using the actual PoE device, and in my case it's this PoE camera that they want to monitor. And they can look at it in real time, and they can go ahead and log the data over an extended period of time to look for issues that may be intermittent. So to explain the setup here, obviously I've got my camera right here. The camera is connected back here to actually it comes back and is connected to the out port of my NSA with the pass-through adapter, and then the in port from this adapter comes back over here to this PoE injector, which is then connected in turn to this switch up above, and this black Ethernet cord goes back to my computer, which is connecting my computer to the camera. So you can actually see the video on the screen as I'm waving my hand across the top of the camera. You can see that change. So that's the connection, and this could be done out at the device. It could be done back at the switch, where you connect the switch to the in port, and then you connect the other connection point, the outside of the port here, so port number 2 then goes to the patch panel that feeds that link out to the camera. So it can be performed at either end of the link. And again, it's for troubleshooting using the actual PoE device, the power device that you want to check out. And you could do this without power as well. There's other functionality to this other than just the PoE portion, because we are monitoring the connection. So we see, in this case my camera is connected at 100 meg, and then my connection back to the switch is 1 gig. Signal to noise ratio, which is important, that lets us know if we've got excessive noise, so we want to have a higher number on there. And our transmit speed on both ports. And in this case we can see I'm transmitting just under 70 megabits per second on port 1, which is the data going back to the switch from the camera, whereas the information coming to the camera on port 2, it's a much lower rate of speed because there's not a lot of information needed to be sent. It's mostly the video signal coming back to the switch that is most of our traffic. And then we see our PoE power here, just under 3 watts. And then we see the breakdown on the pair combinations of our voltage and current. Now we're going to hit plot trace. This will allow us to look at this data on a plot in a live mode. Now my plot comes up. The first thing I see, the power came up. That's the blue trace. The orange trace is transmit port number 1, so we can see that data there. Now you can change the information up here. There's a drop down, so you can click these drop downs up above and change what you want to look. So maybe you want to look at the voltage, maybe you want to look at the current rather than power, so you can select those. I'm going to leave mine set at power. And then likewise, where we've got the orange here, this transmit port 1, we could look at, with the drop down, we can look at transmit port 2, we can look at SNR on port 1 or port 2, and we look at packet errors on port 1 and port 2. So you can tailor this to the data you need and have that live trace show up. Now the nice thing about this live trace is if you know you've got something going on, you can watch and look for changes. Now I'll demonstrate a quick change. I'm going to cover the lens of the camera with my hand to make it dark so that it will trigger the infrared mode on this camera. Once the infrared mode triggers, you'll see there that the camera went to black and white. I'm going to keep my hand here for just a second. What's happened here is now the camera is going to demand more power because it needs to power the IR, but the transmit rate is going to go down. So we just see that line drop. The orange line went down, and that was our transmit speed, and then the blue line, the power, went up, so we needed more power. So we were drawing closer to a little over 4 watts of power instead of just under 3. And then our transmit rate went way down as well. It dropped down to around 10 megabits per second. So now it's gone back to color mode, and we can see that the power and the transmit rates have changed again. So this allows you to watch that data in a live fashion. Now I'm going to hit my back button and show the other nice feature about this new pass-through adapter. You'll see a button here in green that says Begin Capture. Now what this will do, when we hit this, it's going to start tracking all of this information that we've got up above, and it's going to build it into a log. And it'll remind us, yes, you already have a log. Do you want to make sure you really want to run one, or do you not want to overwrite it? I'm going to go ahead and start because I'm not worried about the log I already had in there. And this will run. You could run this for an hour. You could run it for 24 hours, whatever you need to run it for to track the information that you're trying to capture. And this will build a log inside the NSA or the Test Pro, and you can retrieve that log with the Test Data Pro PC software, and it will capture the SNR values, it'll capture the power levels, the transmit speeds. All that data will be captured in a CSV file for you. So I'll stop capture, and that is the pass-through adapter. So you'll be able to just add this right onto your existing Test Pro or NSA with the latest version of firmware. And one other function, in addition to the log, by using the Begin Capture button down here, you will notice there is a save button. So everything that is on this screen currently can be saved into a test data file just by clicking the save button, like you would with any other test on Test Pro or NSA, and then just click save. And to retrieve those logs, you just open your Test Data Pro PC software, go to the Help tab, click on Copy Logs. Then you can open the file location, and you'll see a CSV file called Base T Pass-Through. And when we open that file, we will see our data. And we can see the timestamp here. We can see our SNR for each port. We can see our power over here on the far right. We see voltage and current on the different pair combinations. So all that data is in there. Then you can use the usual Excel tools, create charts and things like that. So that's how you retrieve the data. And that is our pass-through adapter and the method of retrieving the logs.